guys, Alyssa Dawson here for City Lights on Novus TV. With countless types of wines available to us from all over the world, selecting just one bottle at your local wine store can be a huge challenge. That's why tonight we are hard at work, working just for you guys to find the best wines available to us from, of course, beautiful British Columbia and the land down under at Savor Australia, a sellout event at this year's Vancouver International Wine Festival. Cheers. Region of Australia are you coming to us from?
The Adelaide Hills. So elevated viticulture up in the Adelaide Hills. We're high above sea level, so nice warm days, really cool nights, which sort of produce lovely complex reds with a bit of finesse. So everything from nice crisp whites to nice finely boned red wines.
So what makes Australian wines different from other regions, say in California or France?
Well, there's so many different regions in Australia that you can't really sort of paint it all with one brush. All these different regions produce different varieties in different ways. And that's the story I think we're trying to tell here at Savor Australia, is just the difference between all these fantastic regions and all the different varieties that we do really well.
So what varieties of wine do you have for us tonight?
Talked about our sparkling. It's a mix of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Then we have a typical Aussie blend, which is Shiraz Cabernet. There's nowhere else in the world that does that blend of grapes. And then we have an exquisite 100% Cabernet, but the wine we're really excited to be showing here in Vancouver is our 2010 The Peace Shiraz. The whole story behind this is that we wanted to do our most premium Shiraz ever. We have this big street art event on the vineyard. About 2,000 people come, and we have a competition between 4 graffiti artists, and the winning piece of art goes on our reserve Shiraz. So the whole bottle looks like a sort of a paste up of a city wall. And of course you can't put it in a regular old gift box, so every single bottle comes in a spray can. The wine's extraordinary. Would you like to try some?
Would I like to try some? Yes, of course.
Cool. So this is really silky, really smooth, and perfect with food. It's a really good food wine. Yeah, so I thought you were handing me your microphone. We're swapping jobs there.
I can multitask.
You can, yeah, well done.
Thank you very much, Mark. We have 4 new reasons to love Australia.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Good talking to you.
You as well.
All right.
Okay, Sam from Margaret River, where is that?
Well, if you go the other side of Australia away from Sydney to Perth, and then you drive 4 hours down to the bottom of the country, you're right in one of the most isolated parts of the world. We're really well known for Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon, surfing, and also for growing a particular type of plant that surfers like to smoke.
What makes Margaret River great for producing wine?
The ocean is almost surrounding us. It's like 3 sides of us. We sort of jut out into the ocean. So we get really cool maritime climate. The fruit ripens really nicely and grows well, but doesn't get cooked by the heat.
So, shall we get sampling?
Oh yeah.
I can't avoid it for too long.
No, so we might as well do a little Chardonnay. There you go. It will match your nails. Vas Felix. We were the original pioneers of the Margaret River. We started making wine down there about 35 years ago, which for Australian terms is quite young, but for the Margaret River is quite old.
Well, it's very clear you guys know what you're doing. So what should we be tasting in this specific wine?
We're not tasting wood, and we're not tasting big buttery flavours, which people think of with Chardonnay. What we want to taste is nice, crisp, citrusy or stone fruit, you know, peaches.
What other wines do you have here tonight to sample?
We move into the Barossa Valley from a guy called John Duval, and he probably would make this from about 100, average age would be 80 to 100-year-old vineyards. So beautiful old vineyards. We also have a wine from the Clare Valley from Jim Barry, and then we go over back to the Margaret River with a Cabernet Sauvignon. Sort of an eclectic blend across this table. We cover about 4,000 kilometres of territory.
Funny story, Painted Rock was actually the first winery that I went to legally.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I get a pin for you now. Okay, that's great.
You guys turned me on to wine, so tell me about the wine that you have here tonight.
So here we are at this fantastic event, and it's Australian Shiraz, and we have the opportunity to show our Canadian Syrah. Same grape, quite different because we're a cool climate Syrah, but it's very Northern Rhone in style. It's one of our showcase wines. We produce a wine called, it's our Merlot, our Cabernet Sauvignon, our Syrah, our blend called the Red Icon. That's our portfolio, and then we have a rosé that's a little cheeky, like it's stealing the show right now. It's really nice.
I love the way you describe wine, and you're making me thirsty, so can we do a little sampling?
Nice thing about where we are with the Merlot is, of anything that we produce, this is kind of showing the benefit of vine age more than anything. Cheers.
Cheers, again. So in BC, we're all about the eat local movement. Why should
Love
we
it.
also be drinking locally?
That's just so good. And honestly, we are. And I'm the first guy to say thank you to BC and all the wine consumers because they've made a big investment in us. I am just hugely in the debt of British Columbia for their support. Going international now, we just got back from New York. We're launching in Dallas, Texas in a couple of weeks. We're going to London, Canada House in May, and we're going to get the business. So it's we've got a really good group of Canadian wineries or BC wineries that are working with me, and we're getting out there.
Well, the local movement in BC's wine industry is alive and well, clearly, but after tasting the offerings from Australia, I think I better pick up a few bottles of Aussie wine as well. For more information on all of the wineries at tonight's international tasting, vanwinefest.ca is overflowing with information. For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Alyssa Dawson.